Hello everyone. Today I will be telling you guys a story about a guy who figures out how to freeze time. Enjoy the story. The guy, Liam, is 24 years old. He just started his new job as a physicist, which is a type of scientist who does research on physics and tries to make breakthroughs. One day, he goes into work with a headache because he was hungover from the previous night trying to pick up women. Liam is very smart, but very horny as well. On top of that, he is single. Liam's job description is to make any breakthrough in physics, so he tries to figure out how to freeze time. He goes at it non-stop for months until one day, he does it. Nobody else knows that he is trying to freeze time because he wants to have the ability all to himself. They think he is trying to figure out the origin of the universe. Then, Liam activates his little cube, which freezes time. He pushes the red button on the top of it and sure enough, time freezes. He walks around the lab where he was working and sees everyone frozen. Someone was pouring a cup of coffee and it was cool to see that frozen. Liam got very excited at that moment because he knew his plan had worked. He always had a crush on his boss, Kathleen, so he went to her office. At that moment, she was bending down to pick up some papers that she had dropped and Liam took a good long look at her ass. But he didn't stop there. He straightened her out then pulled down her pants. Then, he squeezed her boobs. After that, he pulled down her underwear. He admired her for a while then took off her shirt. He moved her boobs around and then he took off her bra. Then, he turned her so she was facing him. It looked like she was looking right into his eyes. Then, he had some fun. When he was done, he put her clothes back on and went back down to his office to unfreeze time. The next day, he froze time again but this time, he chose to have some fun with a girl who he worked with named Elizabeth. He went over to her after he froze time and put his hands on her boobs. Then he moved them back and forth. Then, he took off all her clothes and did the same thing to her as what he did to his boss. Liam did this every day for several months with a different girl until one day, his boss called all the workers in for an announcement. She said she had good and bad news. The good news was that she got pregnant. The bad news is that she has never had sex before and she doesn't know how it happened. Nobody said anything so she told everyone to get back to work. Liam decided to take a break from what he was doing. More months went by and all of the girls who he had some fun with got pregnant. They were all super confused and didn't know how it happened because most of them were single. One day, they decided to get a DNA test and they found out that Liam is the father. They all confronted Liam and asked him what this was about. Liam debated whether or not he wanted to reveal his secret but he figured that since he would probably get famous from this, he would confess. He told them everything. He expected them to be angry but instead the girls were all super happy that they were carrying a baby of a genius who was soon gonna be famous. Liam was happy about that and he went public with his invention. He got famous from this and was also rewarded a lot of money. The best part was that he could have some fun whenever he wanted. If you know what I mean. Wink, wink. The end.